This is a siren of the glacial abyss, frozen horror from the deep. When the wind whips across the desolate, sun-bleached bones of this abandoned whaling station, it carries with it fragments of a haunting song, a mournful, echoing dirge that reverberates through the skeletal remains of these rusted buildings and freezes the blood in the living bones of those who hear it. A song of loss and longing from an ancient, ageless creature whose soul is as frozen as the wasteland around it. It is a legend known only to the Inuit people, passed down through generations of storytellers. But now we have proof. We have proof that the Siren of the Glacial Abyss exists because we found her. And tonight we're going to tell you all about her. In the dead of night, when the aurora australis paints the sky with ethereal hues of green and violet, the ice shelf groans and heaves. From its depths, a nightmare stirs, bioluminescent skin glistening like a winter's moon. It rises from the glacial abyss, propelled by a sinuous tail, tipped with a deadly dorsal fin. Eyes like twin stars burn with an eerie inner light, piercing the opaque gloom of the Arctic Ocean. The Siren of the Glacial Abyss is stirring. She is an enigma, a puzzle that has defied the keenest minds of scientists for decades. Her kind, if such horrors even have a name, are believed to be the last remnants of an ancient race, creatures that walked the earth before man and will likely outlive him. They are the nightmares that lurk just beneath the surface of the world's oceans, waiting to drag unsuspecting victims to their watery graves. And now a team of researchers at the Halley Sixth Research Base in Antarctica may have stumbled upon one of these elusive sirens while drilling through the ice shelf. But what exactly did they find? Let's take a closer look at the evidence. Researchers were conducting routine tests on the ice shelf when they heard an unusual sound. At first, they thought it was just the wind, or perhaps some trick of the ice. But then they realized it was something else entirely. The sound was too regular, too rhythmic, to be anything natural. Then suddenly, through a break in the ice, they saw it. A pair of glowing eyes stared back at them from the darkness below. Then from the depths of the glacial abyss, she rose, a creature of nightmares made flesh. She was unlike anything they had ever seen before. Her skin was the color of moonlight on freshly fallen snow, and it seemed to glow from within. Her eyes burned like twin stars in the darkness, and she moved with a sinuous grace that was both beautiful and terrifying. As the creature rose higher, they saw more of her. Her body was humanoid in shape, but far from human in appearance. She had the upper body of a woman and the lower body of a fish, complete with a forked tail and fins that glistened in the darkness. She was a creature of both land and sea, a hybrid of two worlds. But it wasn't just her appearance that was so shocking. As she broke through the surface of the ice, they heard her voice, a haunting, eerie call that echoed across the wasteland like a lost soul crying out in the night. The creature let out a series of ear-splitting shrieks, then dove back into the murky depths from which she came. But before she disappeared, they got a good look at her face. It was the face of a woman, or at least it had once been. Now it was a mask of sorrow, etched with pain and loss. Her lips were parted in a silent scream, as if she was trapped between two worlds and could not move forward or backward. When the researchers tried to get closer, the creature retreated deeper into the glacial abyss. She was gone as quickly as she had appeared, leaving the researchers with nothing but the haunting memory of her presence and the echo of her sorrowful song still ringing in their ears. What they had witnessed was a creature from legend, the Siren of the Glacial Abyss. The Inuit people have told stories of these creatures for centuries. Tales of hauntingly beautiful women who lure unsuspecting sailors to their deaths with their enchanting songs. But until now, these stories were dismissed as just that, stories. Now, thanks to the discovery of the Siren of the Glacial Abyss, we know that there may be more to these legends than meets the eye. What makes this creature so terrifying is its ability to blend in with its Her bioluminescent skin allows her to camouflage herself against the dark backdrop of the ocean depths, making her almost invisible to predators and prey alike. Her large, luminous eyes help her navigate the darkest depths of the ocean with ease, while her keen hearing allows her to detect the faintest of sounds, making her aware of any potential danger long before it can strike. This combination of traits makes her a formidable hunter, capable of surprising even the most experienced of swimmers. But it's not just her physical abilities that make her so terrifying. The Siren of the Glacial Abyss is also incredibly intelligent, able to communicate with other creatures of the deep through a series of clicks, whistles, and pulses. She is a master of disguise, able to mimic the sounds of other animals to lure them within striking distance. And she is also incredibly patient, able to wait for hours, days, or even weeks for the perfect opportunity to strike. The Siren of the Glacial Abyss is a creature of habit, following a strict daily routine that she has honed over centuries of living in the unforgiving environment of the Arctic Ocean. Every morning, she would rise with the sun, if she could be said to sleep, and begin her hunt. Using her keen eyesight and hearing, she would scan the waters for potential prey, filtering through the endless schools of fish that swam past her icy domain. When she found a promising lead, she would strike with lightning speed, using her powerful jaws and razor-sharp teeth to hold on to her prey. As the sun began its slow descent towards the horizon, she would retreat to the safety of the ice shelf, where she would spend the night dozing in the relative warmth of the shallow waters. But this routine was not set in stone. Sometimes the Siren of the Glacial Abyss would venture further afield, traveling up to 60 miles in search of new hunting ground. She was a creature of instinct and impulse, and sometimes the urge to explore was simply too strong to resist. During these expeditions, she would travel alone, her sleek, streamlined body cutting through the water with ease. She was a ghost in the machine, a silent predator moving through her domain with an effortless grace. When she returned to the ice shelf each evening, she would be greeted by a chorus of excited squeals and whistles from the other creatures of the deep. For the Siren of the Glacial Abyss was not just a solitary hunter, she was also a social creature, spending much of her time in the company of other bioluminescent fish and marine mammals. She would play games of tag with the young ones, racing through the icy waters and weaving in and out of each other's paths. And she would share stories and gossip with the elders, swapping tales of the great beyond and the strange creatures she had encountered on her travels. Despite her terrifying reputation, the Siren of the Glacial Abyss was also a playful, curious creature. She loved to explore new places and discover what lay beyond the familiar haunts of her youth, and she was always eager to make new friends and learn their stories. The researchers at the Halley the Sixth Space were stunned by what they had seen. The Siren of the Glacial Abyss was a creature unlike any they had ever encountered before. Her haunting beauty, combined with her predatory nature, made her both fascinating and terrifying to observe. They knew that they had stumbled upon something truly special, a living, breathing piece of legend. But as the sun began its slow climb back into the sky, the Siren of the Glacial Abyss vanished. She slipped back into the depths of the ocean, leaving the researchers with nothing but memories and theories to satisfy their insatiable curiosity. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the ice shelf, the researchers gathered around the flickering screen of their computer, poring over the footage they had captured of the Siren of the Glacial Abyss. They analyzed every frame, searching for clues to her identity, her behavior, her very essence. Some saw her as a monster, a creature of nightmare and legend that had no place in the modern world. Others saw her as a symbol of the untamed wilderness, a reminder of the raw, untamed power of nature that humans can never truly conquer. But all of them were in awe of what they had witnessed, knowing that they had stumbled upon something truly extraordinary. The mystery of the Siren of the Glacial Abyss remains unsolved, her origins and motivations shrouded in the mists of time. But one thing is clear, she is a creature of both beauty and terror, a haunting reminder of the dark secrets that lie beneath the frozen surface of the Arctic Ocean. After hearing this chilling tale, you may want to stay away from the Arctic Ocean for a while. The Siren of the Glacial Abyss is a creature that is best left undisturbed. Her haunting song and eerie glow are a sight and sound, best seen and heard from a distance. But if you're still itching for adventure, perhaps you should head down to the nearest lake or river and go for a swim. Just be sure to keep an eye out for any strange, bioluminescent creatures lurking in the depths. You never know what you might find. We hope you enjoyed this terrifying tale of the Siren of the Glacial Abyss. If you want to hear more stories of mythical creatures, cryptids, and everything in between, then be sure to check out our other videos. Who knows? You might just learn something new, and maybe even spot a siren or two.